Hello, hello. Happy Thursday to everybody. I am still new to this, so I think I'm live. I'm not sure. I think I'm live. So I decided to jump on to make a couple comments on my reel that I posted today, which if anybody didn't see is on my page, which is in regards to a lot of women have, first of all, can everybody hear me? Just put a heart in the chat box if you can hear me before I keep on talking. Otherwise, I'll be talking to, hey, Ricky, nice to see you. I'm trying to get new, adjusted to the lives. So I'm popping on. This is I think it's my 7th day doing this in a row. Just trying to get comfortable in this format because it's not my forte. So to combat that anxiety, I'm trying to get going with that. But I wanted to comment on the video I posted today, which was a lot of women do not want to wear hair because they're afraid that other people will think it's vain or fake. And in fact, some people do tell women that are wearing hair that it is vain or fake. But that is actually the realest thing that I do, which I show in that video. This is my entire hair makeup collection. These are all the things that I use, like 6 things, which are, of course, not natural. A lot of women in this world do different things. Nails, whatever, fillers, Botox, all kinds of things. Most of us were actually born with hair. Wanting hair is extremely natural, extremely real. There's nothing more real than wanting to feel whole. So it's more real for me to be wearing a wig than it is for me to be putting on eyeliner or, pounding concealer all over my raccoon eyes. I wasn't born with what I call crayon on my face. I was born with hair. And I think it takes a while to get adjusted to the notion that wanting to have your hair, even if it's not coming out of your scalp and growing out of your scalp anymore, that it is okay to want that. It is not fake to want that. It is not vain to want that. It's a part of wanting to feel like yourself in any other way, like any other woman on this planet wants to do. We all just want to feel good. But the hair part of it is like the most natural thing to actually want, in my opinion. So, hey, Yomo. So, yeah, exactly. Hair transplantation specialist said, I agree. Hair is a basic need. There are some people that aren't born with hair, but a lot of women are born with hair and men. And it is something, it's like a limb. For me, losing my hair was like losing a limb. There was a point of time in my life that I would have been willing to swap body parts. And I don't say that lightly, and I don't say that to offend anybody. It's just to share how deeply hair loss affected me. I was willing to, if I could have made a deal to swap my breasts, I would have done that. If I could have made a deal to, give up a kidney, I would have done that because, I had 2. And these things sound ridiculous to somebody that doesn't really understand the level of devastation that I was in. I had no life. So that would have been an upgrade to me. That is how badly I was affected by my hair loss. So wanting hair is not vain or fake. And it is for some women a life, it's a life altering disorder for many women. And for some women, it's a life threatening disorder. I've been online talking about this for 16 years and interacting with women. And more times than I can say that come to mind, somebody has written me that they have wanted to unalive themselves because of their hair loss. That is how badly their hair loss was affecting them. They could not see how they could possibly live that way. And I understand that mentality. I understand the depth of that despair. I understand that darkness. Because at the point that I started my site, which was in 2007, and my hair loss began in 1999, I didn't see a way to go forward anymore. I didn't see a future in anything. I was trying to fake it through life till that point and trying to do things. But at that point, I just checked out of everything. I stopped doing things that I was doing before. And I just didn't want to be part of the world. So that's why I started my site, because I didn't have anybody to talk to. I didn't have anybody to connect with. And I actually thought I was the only woman on this planet that was going through this, because I didn't see any other women around me that this was happening to. At the time, there was nothing online. So I just started blogging my journey as being a woman with hair loss, and then thought maybe one day somebody will see it and they won't feel alone. And then more and more people found it. But that's why I started it, because I was so depressed, because I was so alone, because I didn't know anything else to do in my life other than to talk about the thing that was destroying me and taking and stealing years away from my life. That is why I sit here before you on a live, that I'm not good at lives still, and it's not my forte, and I have anxiety, and I often turn red doing the lives because of my anxiety. But I think it's important for women to know that from the place of which I came from, which was so dark, being a person that was born with enough hair for 3 people, starting to lose it at 21 at a point in time when there were 0 resources, floundering, depression, anxiety, and to being able to find a way to make this work in my life. And I'm the most resistant person on the planet. Like, I do not like change. I like consistency. I don't even want my Ziploc bag to change. So for someone like me, who is so resistant to change, to be able to change, to be able to have a different mindset, I swear, I truly believe that 99.999% of women can make this happen, because I have to be on the upper end and the upper tier of the most resistant people on the planet to want to accept change. And there was a point in my life that it was all or none. Like, it's all my hair back, my bio hair growing back, or there is nothing. There's no life. There's no future. I had nothing ahead in store for me. If I can't grow every single last hair on my head back, that's it. It's like, it's curtains for me. That was my mentality for years and years and years. And for as long as I was going to maintain that mentality, that was actually going to be my reality. And it was just that for years and years and years and years, until 2012, which is when I started to wear wigs, which was a pivotal point in my life, because then I saw I had some control in this, where I felt I had none before. I wouldn't be perfect, because the wigs are not perfect. There's no wig that's perfect. I don't own a perfect wig, and they're not for everybody. But I had some control in how I got to portray myself to myself and to the world. And that I got a sense of, for the first time in a long time, of feeling like me and feeling empowered. And then I cut my hair really short, so I didn't see the fall as much. That was another, check, another feather in the cap of moving forward in hair loss, Then I got to the point of telling people in my life, that I was wearing wigs and that I had hair loss. And then I was telling strangers, and not just doing it online. And I just kept doing it until it no longer terrified me that people would find out. It no longer terrified me if every single person found out that I had hair loss and wore a wig. So I'm not afraid that people know I wear wigs. Anybody in the world, we can go anywhere right now down the street, and I can walk up to anybody and be like, hey, this is a wig, and I can take it off for them. Not that anybody needs to do that, but I just wanted to get out of that space of anxiety, which is also kind of why I'm doing these lives, because they give me anxiety. And the only way that you combat anxiety is to do the thing that is causing you that distress. So if this live is not my forte, it's something different, it's unpredictable, the camera shut off on me before, maybe nobody's in the room, maybe I'll be mute. The only way to get past that is to do it. And I don't mean do it 1 time or 2 times or 3 times or 4 times. That's a muscle you have to keep exercising over and over and over again to get good at whatever that thing is. In my case, because I live with anxiety, massive anxiety. And, so early on, I did have therapy for anxiety. This was not for hair loss. I learned one of the ways to help myself was just to fess up to it. Whatever my ism was, whatever my thing was, I would just tell the person ahead of time, this is my thing. Like, you might think it's weird. Sometimes I preface it by saying that you might think this is weird, but I have this thing. And then I just told them. So I took the sting out of it right out of the bat. I'd rather have somebody think I'm a weirdo, like, for 3 seconds, than to live in hours of misery. So for whatever it is, that is how I live my life. And have lived my life with my anxiety, so that I could help it to a certain degree. And I did that. I employed those same tactics and techniques in my hair loss and wig life. I did not want to live under the thumb of somebody finding out I had hair loss or I was wearing a wig or whatever. And so to diffuse that, I just told everybody. That was a little rant there. But let me scroll up here and see if I missed anything. Hi, Ricky, Yomo, everybody that's joining. Thank you so much for joining and being a part of this and supporting. I know some people that have been here the last several days have, seen me turn all sorts of colors on screen because first of all, there's lights. Second of all, anxiety makes me flush. So it starts flushing in the cheeks and then it starts running down the nose. And pretty soon I look like a tomato. Then my eyes start getting glassy. It's a whole progression of stuff. But that's also the reason why I don't like the fact that this is one area of communication of being online that I am not comfortable in, because I'm comfortable making YouTube videos. I'm comfortable in doing a podcast. I'm comfortable in posting stories on Instagram. I'm comfortable in doing videos on Instagram. But this is one area that is like, I've declined every invitation that anyone's ever had for a live. I'm like, not my thing. So I'm like, I don't want to live like that. Why should I have to live like that? What's the worst thing that can happen? The camera goes off, I turn red, nobody shows up. I mean, there are worse things. So let me see if I can't see anything in the chat here. Hair transplantation specialist says, I made the mistake of forgetting my hair extensions on vacation and it completely changed the way I felt. I paid an absurd amount to have it rushed, and as soon as I received it, my mood changed. I could totally see doing that, by the way. Like, not if I didn't have like my wig or whatever, like needing a wig to be FedEx to me. I actually did lose a wig in public. That's a different story. Like, somebody that I know says it's like, that's like leaving a used car somewhere. Because when I went back for it, it was no longer there, apparently. It was apparently donated, which I don't think it was. I think somebody took it. Let's see. My mom lost her hair as a teenager, and I wished so badly I could help her. It's devastating. It's devastating for women of all ages. I did start losing it at 21, but I see women that are younger than 21. And I can't even imagine also being in school and then having to deal with it, because I knew what I was dealing with at 21. And at 21, I wasn't in school. So, I don't know. That would have been incredibly difficult to be dealing with hair loss and being in school. So when I see that scenario, like, my heart absolutely can feel for the boys and girls that are having to deal with alopecia in school, because kids are cruel. I mean, adults are cruel. Adults leave terrible comments on my posts. So, I mean, I can only imagine what, it is to be a kid, especially in this day and age with social media. Christopher Jones says, I am someone that bonds, but I realized my life was revolving around my bonding schedule. So I got a beautiful wig and it's so freeing. And I'm glad you were able to do both. Like, bonding is an option for a lot of women. Like, some women don't think it's an option, or aren't aware of the ins and outs of it. Bonding is the right option for the right candidate. And what I mean by that is that you have to know everything that's involved that goes into it and know if you're mentally somebody that can deal with it. The reason why I didn't bond is because because a friend did it before me and she knew me and she was like, why? You cannot do this. And why did she say that? Because she knew that I needed things to be exact and precise, and I needed control over things. She's like, you put the bond on, you could have a wrinkle in the bond. It could be slightly crooked. And for some people, that's not an issue. Like, they don't have a problem with that. But that is something that I would be struggling every second of the day. It would be eating away at me. So when she said that, the wrinkle in the bond, you lost me. So then I knew I wouldn't be a candidate. And a lot of women are candidates and a lot of women aren't candidates, but you have to know everything that goes into bonding before you do it, so you can figure out based on your own personality and also your time and stuff like that, if you're willing to do the maintenance and stuff like that, if you are the right candidate for it. For the right candidate, it is a good solution. But as Christopher Jones said, she is now enjoying having a wig and finding that it's freeing. I appreciate your bravery. I hope I can get there one day. Hair loss has taken over my life. I can't wait to be free and just be able to tell people. I think that's accessible to everybody. I'm not just saying that. I'm really not. like I said, not only was I the most resistant person, I also was very secretive about this before. So there can come a point, I believe, for almost everyone. I say almost every woman, because there could be that little percentile of people that wouldn't be able to do that for one reason or another. But if you want to free yourself, I think you can. I think we can all free ourselves, but we have to find whatever way that is for us. That's not wigs for everybody. That's not toppers for everybody. For some people, that may be a haircut. For some people, that may be treating their hair loss in conjunction with fibers, or finding benefit in the treatment that they're doing, being able to accept the progressive natures and the limitations of hair loss treatments and going along with that. But realizing, okay, this is what it is, but I'll be able to do this. And maybe one day if I have to wear a wig, I could do that. So sometimes just a change in mentality and mindset is enough for some people. It's not always like a wig or nothing. And I don't want anybody to ever think that just because I wear wigs, like that has to be that way, because wigs are definitely not for everybody. That's for sure. So let's see here. Hello, Global Hair Loss. Hello, everybody who's joining. Thank you, hair transplant specialists, for saying I'm really proud of you. Just scrolling up here to see if I missed anything. So yeah, so going back to what I said in the beginning on the point of the reel that I posted today, yes, people have said to me that I should just love myself as I am. I'm talking about online. And they've said different degrees of something in person, but really it's online. But I should just love myself as I am and not wear a wig. Just be, you should show yourself, your real self as you are, and just own it and be that person. Meanwhile, with a full head of hair extensions, a fresh blowout, and, false eyelashes, full nails, the whole bit, you're telling me you want me to be my bald ass self and just own it. And that should just be what should be comfortable for me. Nobody can tell somebody else what should be comfortable for them. I don't love myself any less because I wear a wig. In fact, I love myself more because I wear a wig. I love myself more because I made the decision to shave my head. Those were not easy things to do. And none of that is being fake, actually. Mascara, that's not real. Concealer, love my concealer. That's not real. Wanting your hair is natural. Wanting your hair is real, and is not fake, and is not vain. So that is really what I came on here to say. And I do have a lunch date coming up. So I am going to end this chat, and I thank everybody so much for joining in, and I will see everybody on the next live. Bye.